Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Derpy here, and I'm joined by my co-host, Cujo1989.
Yeah, I'm here.
And I'm joined by our special guest today as well, BMat15, a new and upcoming PC/PS4 YouTuber.
What's going on, folks?
And today we are gathered on Xbox and PS4 with a little bit of difficulty.
But now, I would say.
Yeah, more like a lot of bit of difficulty.
Yeah, it's been an hour and a half trying to set this up, but hopefully this works. We're just kind of crossing our fingers at this point. A lot of
programs updated. Yeah, we're getting there.
A lot of curse words were exchanged, not between us, but between our technical devices.
Yeah, it seemed like every time we tried something, it would just go into a ball of flames.
So it's a good thing that we kind of went through this experience, because we know that crossplay still is far from perfect at this point in time.
Yeah, definitely the game chat aspect of it.
There are some minor difficulties that will need to be patched in the upcoming updates.
Specifically for WoD, maybe for other games as well, but I'm thinking more specifically for WoD because one of our difficulties that we ran into was having to reset our game just to get our platoon chat working and everything.
And that was between two Xboxes.
Yes, two Xboxes.
It was flawless.
PlayStation just came right in perfectly fine.
Oh yeah.
So maybe PlayStation has a beat on that aspect.
Yeah, I feel like in certain regards PS4 does things better, but in other regards Xbox does things better.
Well, it's whatever features you want to prioritize. Each does their own thing a little bit better than the other, but overall they're similar.
Right. So, crossplay. Are we excited? I mean, do you think that the crossover is a good idea or a bad idea? How are we feeling?
It's a new pool of players, and it helps extend the life of the game. The more people you have playing, the longer they can justify keeping the servers on.
Yeah, I agree. Online, like on the Facebook pages, like regarding World of Tanks console, I always see like arguments between like the consoles being like, "Oh, if you were on Xbox, you'd get destroyed." Or like, "Oh, well, PS4 players are better." Like, there's always like this, this great divide right down the middle, and it's like, well, we can finally settle that.
Yeah, honestly, it's a great thing to walk into when there's a larger player base now, because we don't have to worry about, oh, I want to play this console or this version specifically, unless it's like PC or mobile, So having more access to different players is awesome.
Well, to be fair, you can play Blitz on PC if you choose. That has always existed as a possibility.
Yeah, but why would you?
Why would you take like one of the two better ports to play this game and play the worst port?
You need Warhammer 40k tanks.
More Warhammer 40k?
Because they have the actual models of some of that stuff, not just skins. Mind you, they're terrible, but...
On mobile?
Oh, yeah.
Really? Oh,
yeah. You can look it up.
Oh, man. They get Warhammer 40k. All we get is stupid wrestling. I want anime.
When they were doing the skins on PC and all that.
Huh.
Hell, on World of Warships Legends, they get a couple of Warhammer 40k ships.
Yeah.
I know. Got one.
Yeah, I haven't touched that game in a minute.
I honestly, Kuja's been trying to get me into World of Warships Legends, but I already have World of Warships on the PC. And honestly, I'm already pretty established there. Going down the Derby and BB lines and everything.
It's a similar but different experience, because it's a whole different matchmaking spread. There's not all the bullshit paper ships. Yeah,
it's another war game, though.
Yeah, but there's only 7 tiers, though. I mean, granted, like you said, there's none of like the bullshit paper ships, but like I feel like the game's like kind of lacking in that regard because like on PC, like you can grind out like there's 10 tiers. Like it's on World of Tanks console, there's 10 tiers, but then like you get to World of Warships for some reason we get 7. Like I don't know, it's kind of weird.
That kind of put me out. It did.
I mean, maybe it's a step towards, I don't know, like War Thunder or anything, because they only go up to tier 6.
Yeah, but they have like way more though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they have more tanks like within the tiers though, or like battle ranks or whatever the hell they call them.
Yeah.
War Thunder.
In War Thunder, you unlock whatever you want in that tier. No progression of one to the other. It's whatever you choose to, you can.
Yeah.
Huh. I'd have to look into it, like I said, but it's like I don't feel like technically restarting my World of Warships again because I'd probably be, playing mostly Call of Duty or, World Tanks on here because it's just another game that takes up space on my Xbox. I built a gaming PC just for this specific reason, to have, war games on my PC, such as, World of Warships or even, Gary's Mod or something like that. Hell, my previous computer couldn't even run Minecraft.
Well,
were you gaming on a potato? Like what?
No, I only had maybe 16 megabytes of RAM?
Were you using an Acer laptop?
No, I was using a Lenovo desktop. And it was from 2016 at the time.
Oh god.
Yeah. Its processor couldn't even keep up with it, It could run Gary's Mod fine. Anything preloaded, it could run. But if something like Minecraft, where it's constantly rendering, I couldn't run it.
Well, to keep us from completely flying off the rails, it is interesting to see the crossplay and also the potential for what else it can hold up. Potentially special events to settle issues of who over who.
Oh yeah, exactly. One of the popular topics in the community has been doing a special event with PS4 versus Xbox. PS4 versus PlayStation. I almost said that.
We're going back to PS3.
Yeah, we're going to go back to PS3. Even though they ended, 360 support and all that stuff.
It was time.
It was time.
The only
Portuguese players
are the South Americans, so you might see a severe lack of Brazilian players.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Oh hey, I mean,
come on, no suicide heavy tanks in the middle of an open field in a platoon?
Nope. But
oh my gosh,
I'd love to see a special event like that where it's like just all PlayStation on one team, all Xbox on another team. Or, you got to think about how the competitive scene would look after this because, PlayStation top clans are going to run into Xbox top clans, clan battles are going to be a little bit more fierce,
Potentially.
very much so.
If, they don't have any issues with their platoon systems.
Well, we're in the testing phases, I'd say, teething.
Yeah, crossplay is still technically new. It's not a lot of games do it nowadays. Usually it's like, any major title like Fortnite, Call of Duty, PUBG. Say that again, Cujo?
War Thunder, they're another one.
Really?
It's gradually becoming more and more of a thing because overall, the console market is gradually kind of wheedling down over time now. The rest of the world is primarily PC gaming. Console is more of a North American oddity.
Okay.
And lumping everybody together helps it survive longer until they can eventually start coming up with a way to make it more popular again, or eventually everybody just folds back into PC.
All right. Yeah. What are your thoughts so far, Matt? Or Brennan? Should call you Brennan.
Well, hopefully it makes matchmaking a little... I mean, not that matchmaking was terrible before this, but, it'll be a lot easier to get, whatever... Get into battles quicker and stuff, especially like the larger pool.
Yeah.
That's an issue we never really ran into except for odd hours in the middle of the week here, typically.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see where you're coming from. Those days where you're sitting there for 5 minutes in the queue and it's just nothing.
Yeah, like there's not even people in the queue. There's like literally like in the entire queue, there's enough to make like one battle, and it's like, well, obviously that's not going to work.
Right.
But I mean, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, not really that like I game at like odd hours, but like sometimes I have. It's been like a minute where like I'll just be sitting there for a while, and the next thing you know, I'll finally find a match.
Right.
Like I said, it'll hopefully there is like some kind of tournament or like a event where it is just PS4 versus Xbox. You know, I'm not really sure who would win. I'm not really sure who's superior, and that's something I'd really like to find out.
I would probably tune into the competitive brackets just to watch that specifically to see
For sure
what that looks like. But I also had a question. Now, before this, they were doing a lot of +1 -1 testing. Do you guys think that maybe +1 -1 might be a permanent fixture with this big crossplay?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I feel like
special event item.
Yeah, I feel like that's something they're gonna want to avoid permanently. Like, because if we had something like permanently, you know, it kind of gets rid of, like, I guess like the urgency to play it, or like the people like wanting to play it, like the demand.
Right.
You know, like if they just gave it to us and they're like, oh, you know, here you go, you have +1 -1 matchmaking forever now. Like, I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but like the numbers would eventually stagnate like usual as far as like player count. But like if you were to like just throw it out there every once in a while like they do, then like you're gonna have weekends where like everyone and their mother just floods the servers.
Right.
You know, which that leads to people buying tanks, leads to people buying premium time, leads to
from a business
money.
It is,
yeah.
It's better kept as a marketing kind of. It's a special event kind of thing.
Yeah, like that, and then of course like the loaded dice event, like, you know, if you know like you're just gonna high roll a bunch, you know, it'll make like the times where like they throw those things in there like that much more like worth it, like more substantial.
Honestly, I think more people tend to avoid the loaded dice event nowadays. That's just me, because every time loaded dice is out, there's not many players on.
Every shot you take where you lose 3 modules and get ammo racked by the second shot, and you're just left screaming why.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I remember like the first time they came out with that, like I was like, whoa, like they're like the first. I mean, of course, I had fun. I just went around my KV2, but like, you know, so like the guy that loses all of his modules and, you know, basically like, you know, dies from his whole crew being killed, like, you know, that was me. But like,
one of those in the higher tiers about a week ago. It was a tier 8 charioteer with all the crew dead. That's all it was.
Yeah, that's a certain rarity to come by where tanks.
High tiers.
At high tiers, yeah. I mean, low tiers is understandable because you have like 3 or 4 crew members, or no, not 3, 2 to 3 crew members per tank. But it's like it's rare when it comes to like higher tiers because there's armor, there's, you know, other modules you can hit.
Yeah, like certain crew members, it would be like damn near impossible, you know, to take them out. I mean, unless you like, you have to pump in so many shots, you might as well just kill the tank anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
But as we're starting to get towards the end here, I want to just kind of talk a little bit more about BMAT15 or Brennan here, about his new channel coming up. And honestly, he's PS4, PC. Got 2 videos out currently.
Yeah, I have my first video is just a bit of a compilation. It's just like a mishmash of various footage I've gotten over the past couple months. And not just from World of Tanks. Like I play like Hell Let Loose and Verdun and Tannenberg, like games like that, but like predominantly World of Tanks. And my second video is actually like a commentary on a battle I had in the M48 Patton, which was the first tier 10 I got on PC. And it's been a bit because like I like restarted on PC. You know, I did like the dreaded like starting over.
Right.
So, but yeah, I have some more replays. I'm gonna do that. Do some more commentary for. I got some badass footage. Playing Call of Duty Warzone. So I'll be throwing some of that on there as well. I kind of want it to be well rounded. Like, I don't want to just do World of Tanks, but
Right.
World of Tanks is my most beloved game, so obviously I'm going to have just a metric shit ton of World of Tanks content.
Nah, Defeat is definitely good.
So, but yeah, I mean, thanks for the shout out, bro.
No problem, no problem. Like I said, we're here to support each other. Now that we're one big kind of game now, it's just PS4, Xbox. You know, now we can kind of have a larger player base against like PC and stuff like that. So it's nice to see that there are other people on the other side. You know, and it's not gonna be like all hostile and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, and I'm actually waiting on a capture card to come back from Amazon. So once I do that, I'll definitely have you guys look on my channel, and we'll all just have a wonderful time playing some Spanx.
Yeah, hopefully without any issues. But it looks like we might actually have to use Discord from here on out. But whatever it is, you know,
It works.
Anything to say, Cujo?
Motherfucker.
That's the spirit.
That's the spirit. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching, and enjoying this discussion. I want to give a special thank and shout out to Brendan here, and I want you to go subscribe to his channel, which will be linked down in the description. I have been your host, Derpy, joined by my co-host, Cujo1989, and of course, special guest. And we will see you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.